What's going on, weirdos? It's your man Shane Kid Walker here with HollyWeird TV, bringing you all yet another video. And right now, we are going to get into the results and review for Sunday's Backlash 2020. And y'all, it is a lot to unpack. And without further ado, without wasting any time, let's get started. First official match of the night, ladies and gentlemen, we see Apollo Crews take on Andrade for the United States Heavyweight Championship. And of course, Andrade is draped with his teammates, Angel Garza and Zelina Vega. And get this, Kevin Owens kind of spoils the fun and kind of joins commentary. Pretty interesting there. Pretty great action between these two guys. Apollo, what spotted the match for me was Apollo kind of dodging a double stomp from Andrade while tied up in a tree of woe, which actually led to a counter belly to belly suplex, sorry, into the turnbuckle. Springboard float over DDT by Andrade. Angel Garza tries to interfere in the match. Of course, Kevin Owens he's not having it. Hits him with a stunner. Boom, boom. Cruz hits the toss-up power bomb to pin and get the victory and retain his championship. I'm going to give this match 3 stars out of 5. Pretty solid opener. Pretty great opener for the contest and all. Like, I love how Apollo Crews literally came up. Like, how he went from basically, my knee to, defending the championship. I'm thinking on 2 occasions. I think this was his 3rd title defense overall. And, just kind of finally realizing his potential. He's been with the company for maybe 4 years, I believe, maybe 4 or 5 years. Finally realizing his potential, and the creative geniuses in the back are sticking with him. Pretty great to see. From U.S. title match to women's tag team title match, we have Sasha Banks and Bayley defending their women's tag team championship against Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, and the double iconics in triple threat action. Now, this match, man, kind of was in the middle for me. It wasn't a bad match at all, but it wasn't obviously wasn't match of the night after what I saw. But we get a series of roll up pins, another series of roll up pins. Then all the girls get in the ring. They start beating the crap out of each other because, of course, you have Bayley and I think it was Peyton Royce double teaming Nikki Cross throughout most of the match and stuff like that. Peyton Royce was spot of the match. She hits a suicide dive through the middle rope, kind of like in crossbody form. Pretty clever there. On all the women outside, hitting one of them. Had to hit one of those spots. Had to involve everybody somehow. I couldn't call what the double team move between Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss was. It was like a flapjack into a DDT or something like that, or I didn't know if it was I don't know if they was going for a shatter machine, kind of like FTR does or the Revival did in the WWE. I don't know. I couldn't call it left or right, but it needs a little work, honestly. But I think they botched it, but okay. Twisted Bliss to one of the double iconics from Alexa Bliss, but oh no, here comes Sasha Banks with the roll up with the pin and win, and Sasha Banks and Bayley retain the women's tag team titles. I'm gonna give this match 3.5 stars out of 5. Now, this was the official opening match as the United States title match. It's technically a dark match as it takes place on the pre-show. Kind of clunky at times, kind of, I'm not going to say it didn't do it for me, but it was kind of clunky, kind of that double team flapjack thingy, whatever that was, looked pretty bad, honestly. So I guess Alexa Bliss, when she was going up, she just had to take a freaking bump somehow, and just boom, there it is. So 3.5 stars out of 5. Not a bad match, but not match of the night, obviously. Up next, we have Sheamus taking on Jeff Hardy in a grudge match. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this match was a bit more competitive than what I actually originally projected, and it wasn't a bad match at all. I was kind of very appreciative of the action from both guys. They're both great workers in their own right. With Jeff Hardy being obviously one of the all-time greats, and Sheamus is on the precipice of becoming a legend himself. But anyway, of course, Jeff Hardy hits a whisper in the wind. Hardy gets a major hope spot. But, Sheamus, of course, hits an Irish Curse backbreaker, one of my favorite moves. And get this, he locks Jeff in a Texas cloverleaf. I haven't seen that move in God knows how long. It's basically a sharpshooter using your arm. That's what I used to call it when I was a kid. But Sheamus, it was after Sheamus took a twist of fate. Sheamus is obviously getting in position to take the bump for the Swanton Bomb. I thought it was pretty funny, but so whatever. Twist of Fate, Swanton, rope break action. Jeff Hardy scales the outside of the barricade, hitting his pad and clothesline, but he gets caught with a wicked bro kick to the jaw. I thought that was pretty funny. And Sheamus rolls him in, hits him with yet another bro kick to pin and win. Sheamus is victorious. I give this match 4 stars. It kind of told a great story in my opinion. Between the dastardly heel, I set you up and I don't care, yada yada yada, and with Jeff gets his moments of hope and he's going to win Swanton Bomb, Twist of Fate, whatever. But 2 bro kicks, put Jeff on the mat. 1, 2, 3, Sheamus wins. All right. Raw Women's title on the line as Asuka defends her championship against challenger Nia Jax. Asuka's going straight forward. She's taking the fight straight to Nia here, and she kind of rolls her way into an octopus submission, but Jax's power is just too much to bear. This is a modern telling of, David and Goliath. Kind of like how the WWE always like to paint, whenever the Big Show took on somebody, like, way smaller than him. So there you go. But Asuka, she locks in the guillotine. And, now I noticed Nia was working at a more strategic and methodical pace, and she was kind of working much slower, because everyone knows she's known for injuring people and stuff like that, like legitimately. So I guess the creative Jesus in the back was like, yo, please do not hurt our champion. Work as slow as you can and let Asuka work around you. And, to a great avail. But the match ends in kind of a bullshit finish, a double count out. And I was kind of really getting into the match. It was getting into a second gear for me. But as they get to the outside, you can see the referee's up to a count of 7 or 8, and I'm just like, oh no, please do not end in a double count out. Sure enough, the end of the double count out, and the wonky finish kind of drags the grade down. I was gonna give it 3.5 stars, but I had to ding it on the strength of the crazy finish. I don't like count out finishes. I don't like disqualification finishes, especially at a pay per view. But I will say they are setting up what could be a lengthy feud between the two, but still had to knock the grade a little bit, from 3.5 stars to pretty okay 3 stars. Universal title on the line as Braun Strowman defends against the team of Miz and Morrison in a 2-on-1 handicap match. Now, not really much to really say about this match. It was pretty good. It didn't really have any bad spots in it, but I'm going to say this. Miz and Morrison showing off that tag team prowess because, of course, they're multiple-time tag team champions. And, using their speed against the bigger, more powerful Braun Strowman. And, kind of really fast-paced action with this match here. And surprisingly, I can't even say that I was expecting this, but Braun Strowman really looked really good in this match. Morrison doing his flippy, yada, yada, yada stuff, his parkour stuff. He hits a corkscrew off the ropes, and then that's later followed up by a corkscrew plancha on the outside. Miz is doing his it kicks, and Morris, as he's throwing another kick, Strowman kind of slaps his chest. I thought that was pretty hilarious. I think they botched a knee. They hit a skull crusher finale stump kind of tag team move. Was pretty cool. But of course, Morrison's going for the pin. Miz breaks it up, and the rules are whoever gets the pin on Strowman, they will be recognized officially as the Universal Champion. Of course, that creates friction, but Strowman hits his running power slam, and he retains. I get his match 3.5 stars. Not bad per se. It kind of it was a pretty even pace, displaying everyone's prowess. The guys, Miz and Morrison, who were smaller, obviously, against the bigger Strowman. It was pretty good mesh of styles in my opinion. The Miz, his more technical side kind of showed just a little bit, and Morrison, who basically stole the match with his flippy parkour, his parkour style of fighting and stuff like that, and Strowman with his strength. WWE Championship on the line as Drew McIntyre defends against Bobbly Lashley, and right out the gate, Lashley locks in his full Nelson, and he is delivering these huge suplexes, but not to be outdone by Lashley. My man Drew McIntyre comes back with a great looking Northern Light suplex to get to 2 count of near fall. It was a spot that took place when the two were outside the ring. I'm thinking Lashley was carrying McIntyre in a fireman's position, and they were supposed to run into the ring post, but I think Lashley tripped, and all you see is 2 big dudes tumbling over, looking all crazy and stuff. I kind of thought it was funny, but they recovered. They actually redid the spot, and this time it actually worked. McIntyre goes into the ring post and stuff like that. A little later, out comes Lana. What business does she have here? I wonder what's about to happen. She gets on the ring apron, I'm guessing to help Lashley, but it kind of ultimately backfires. They feign a spot where Lashley was about to run into her, kind of like knock off the ring apron by accident, but okay, of course they feigned it. But here comes Drew McIntyre with the Glasgow Kiss headbutt, and he hits Lashley, and Lashley bumps into Lana, and Lana takes this bump in the MVP, and they both fall. And Lashley turns around into a Claymore, and Drew McIntyre wins and retains. I give this match 4 stars out of 5. Pretty great competitive Haas match between these two. Like I said, Lashley, who's come rather far since the whole debacle with Lashley's sisters in his program with Sami Zayn a couple years ago, he's come rather far, and he's come. I like the pairing between he and MVP. I know a lot of people may disagree with that, but I think it's very purposeful. It kind of reminds me of the old TNA days and stuff like that when they were in the stable together, and among other things. So I really like what they're doing with Lashley, and this does not make Lashley look bad. He looked really, really strong, especially in defeat, because he basically lost in a cheap way. So I kind of like how they kind of protected him in a weird way. But again, Drew McIntyre has been booked to look like an incredible badass as WWE Champion. And like I said in the predictions video, I love a good badass WWE Champion. I love a good face champion. Now, between this match and the main event, we were supposed to have the Raw Tag Team title match. But, of course, it was basically, if you could do it, we could do it better, between the Viking Raiders and the Street Profits and stuff like that. Not really much to say about it. It was just another one of those things that they do on Monday Night Raw. But the kind of a twist was they were kind of interrupted by Akira Tozawa and some ninjas and stuff like that. And yeah, they beat up the ninjas, but one ninja was huge, and I think it was Shaq, wink, nudge, wink, wink, wonka wonka, and stuff like that. But, you know, match wound up getting canceled. I don't even know why they had it scheduled that way. Hopefully we get to see these guys defend the championships on Monday Night Raw in the near future or something like that. All right, folks. Are you ready for the greatest wrestling match ever? Now, ladies and gentlemen, I had my doubts about this match, and I set expectations, for lack of a better term, for this match. I'm about to go ahead on and spoil it. This match shattered all my expectations. I admit that I was wrong. I admit I was on the phone with my father, Henry Washington, and we were talking about it before the show. And I said, man, I just don't see it being the greatest wrestling match ever. It might come close. And it did. Now, I'm going to go ahead on. What I'm about to say to you all cannot do justice. You actually have to go back and watch this match between Edge and Randy Orton. Because if you ask me, after what I saw on Sunday night, it is up there with the greatest matches of all time. You know, they kind of went all out with this one in terms of production value. You had Charles Robinson wearing throwback referee gear, and this next part kind of made me smile on the inside, but it kind of brought back some melancholy. You had the MSG microphone lowered from the ceiling, and you hear the voice of the late great Howard Finkel introducing both Edge and Randy Orton in his own unique way. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna try to do this match justice, but I highly recommend that you go back and watch this match from start to finish. I'm just hit the highlights. Matter of fact, I'm gonna just read from my notes. This is what I have. Charles Robinson wearing throwback referee gear. Rest in peace, Howard Finkel, classic microphone. Cinematic quality. Edge's arm drags. Clearly, you could hear out in the audience track. You could hear the audience track in the background. Edge's doubt. Chain and mat wrestling. Orton trips up Edge. Edge using his wits. Big old boot on the outside of the ring. Edge is holding his own. Edge with the head scissors. Orton on the offensive. Bad headbutt which gashes Orton. Edge's crossface. Plexiglass spots. Orton is wrestling. Orton is working the neck. Orton's 2 amigos. Edge's 3 amigos. Chop for chop. Orton's drop kick. Excellent 80s style camera work. superplex, shades of Orton's father, double crossbody, double down, Christian's corner kick, execution, dramatic near fall, rising knee strike, Edge's crossbody, Olympic slam from Orton, great powerbomb sit-out counter by Edge, counter into the Edge-o-matic, unprettier not to kill switch by Edge, Randy Orton's pedigree, near fall, Edge's rock bottom, near fall, RKO, near fall, spear, near fall, punt by Orton, Orton wins, 5 stars on the money. Again, not even me reading those notes, you all, could just do the match justice. That was me just writing down basically what I figured was a highlight. Again, ladies and gentlemen, this match, some of y'all may not agree with this match being the greatest ever, but by God, it is definitely up there. Now look, I know in the predictions video I said they setting the bar kind of high. Man, look, they surpassed it. I'm going to put it to you like that, man. They are on the level of Shawn Michaels and Undertaker, WrestleMania 25 and 26. Savage and Steamboat, WrestleMania 3. Hogan and Andrade, WrestleMania 3. Hogan and Warrior, WrestleMania 6. They're up there with that match, with those matches. Y'all, look, again, 5 stars on the night, match of the night, definitely match of the year candidate, in my opinion. It was that good. Orton and Edge delivered, and I enjoyed, again, if you know me, you know I am a wrestling fan. I loved every single second of this match, from bell to near fall to rock bottom to pedigree to near fall to bell. I loved it. Recommend it. Once again, 5 stars. Match of the night. Do you all agree? If so, or if not, please tell us about it in the comment section below. And if you have any recommendation as to what we should do next, please leave your recommendations in the comment section as well. Now, next week on HollyWeird TV, we are going to be doing a 2-day back-to-back event like we mentioned in the predictions video. We are going to be ranking next Tuesday the top 10 best TV shows of the 2019-2020 season. And the next day, which is that Wednesday, we're going to be ranking the top 10 worst TV shows of the 2019-2020 seasons. Until then, remember, Hollywood is a weird place. I'm your man Shane Kid Walker, and this is HollyWeird TV.